on, y'all? Robert Sykes, KetoSavage.com, and we are in week 10 of the Keto contest prep. 10 weeks in. That is freaking crazy. And honestly, I haven't even changed my meals that drastically the whole time. I've pretty much been happy and satisfied and eating the same thing every single day, which is nice. The beauty of simplicity. So today is a little bit different. The last video, I kind of dove deep into the protein threshold, what my macros are, what I'm eating currently, and kind of talked about what my plan is going forward. So this week is the height of that protein intake at 200 grams. I don't want to basically rehash what I said in the last video. However, I do want to talk about a few of the other circumstances in life besides the macros. So as you know, the protein is going to start dropping by about 5 to 10 grams starting next week. The fat grams are going to continue to drop, but that's going to result in an increasing fat ratio overall, which I'm excited about. But I want to talk about cardio and I want to talk about sleep. So as far as cardio goes, I do run about a mile to 1.3 miles almost every day, not quite every day, but pretty much every day, post-training, just kind of as a way for me to meditate, focus on the day, about what's to come. I listen to podcasts during that time. I don't even really consider that cardio for the prep. It is cardio, but it's a super casual pace. I'm not trying to kill myself by any means. I'm not even counting that because it's such just a baseline of my day. I'm not really using that as a way to lose body fat. A lot of people start a contest prep, they're just doing a ton of cardio. I talked about this a bit in a prior video, but you don't necessarily want to do that because then there's no room left to increase cardio. You kind of want to leave that as a trick up your sleeve, so to speak. However, I'm going to be dropping my calories even further, obviously, going throughout the course of this prep. Next week, I believe I'm going to be, what am I at now here? So currently, I'm at about 2,800 calories. So next week, I'll probably be in the 2,700 calories. I had planned on really starting to ramp up cardio once I got to the 2,500 calorie mark, but I may start gradually titrating that in. So next week, I'm gonna continue to run throughout the prep. Again, not as a form of cardio, just as a form of me to meditate and kind of zone in on the day. But starting either next week or the week after, so week 11 or week 12, I'm going to start titrating up cardio very, very slowly. And that's going to look like probably one 10-minute session on the Stairmaster to start with. I like the Stairmaster because it's super regimented. I mean, it's mechanical. It's like, level 10 on the Stairmaster for 10 minutes is always level 10 on the Stairmaster for 10 minutes. There's not really any variance there. So I'm able to kind of titrate that up and really hone in on how my body's responding to those very subtle changes. So starting next week, probably I'm going to do that, and I'll probably do about 10 minutes at level 10 to start. I'll never exceed 20 minutes on the Stairmaster for cardio at all in general. I don't ever recommend doing hours and hours upon cardio, especially as the calories get low. You're going to be in more of a catabolic state, less so being keto, but more so simply because you're going to be taking in less calories. So the last thing I want to do is sit on the treadmill or elliptical or row for 2 hours. It's just not in line with my goals. There's more efficient ways of losing body fat. So I don't want to do that. But, I'll probably vary anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes tops on the Stairmaster, and that's going to gradually increase over the next several months. But starting next week or two, I'll do just one 10-minute session a week. So incredibly, low intensity. 10 minutes at level 10 is nothing for me. So it's more so anything just kind of priming my body and slowly adding that cardio in. So that's my plan there. Now, I want to dive into sleep, but before I do that, actually, I'm just going to show you my Oura ring. So let's just dive into the Oura ring on my phone here. All right. Interestingly enough, this is the second time I recorded this clip. The first time there was this crazy background music that came out of nowhere. So here we go. Take 2. This is the dashboard of the Oura ring. The Oura ring, if you do not know, is just a ring. It's a wearable that tracks all of your metrics, your heart rate, your activity, your sleep. It's pretty accurate. It's kind of like the gold standard as far as wearables, as far as accuracy is concerned. I like it a lot. It's not like a big watch or anything that impedes me wearing a wrist wrap or anything like that while I'm training. So here we go. Readiness 66. That is not a very good readiness score. That is because I slept very poorly last night. I'll dive into that in just a moment. So it shows the sleep there, 5 hours, 18 minutes. I've also got it synced up with my training app. I use Rep Count to track my training, and it's also synced up with Strava, which is a running app. So let's just dive into the readiness here. It shows my heart rate variability, which is 49. It shows my resting heart rate, 46 beats per minute. For me personally, I like to see a number that is 50 or lower. Actually, 55 or lower for me, I guess, is pretty typical. That'll obviously be up higher if I'm doing activity, but it's much lower just throughout the day. And I feel like that's a pretty good indicator of your stress levels, just your overall health. Having a really low, solid resting heart rate is key. So I like to see mine in the 40s or 50s. So let's dive down a little deeper here. It kind of shows my heart rate variability and resting heart rate over time. Let's dive into sleep. This is the main thing I use the Oura Ring for. So it tracks my sleep throughout several days here. Last night's sleep was very poor relative to the past few nights because I don't know why, honestly. I just did not sleep very well. Sleep efficiency is 77%. Total sleep, 5 hours, 18 minutes. Let's see here. So this is interesting. REM sleep was 34 minutes. Deep sleep was 1 hour and 50 minutes. Let's just go back another day. So yesterday, REM sleep was 14 minutes. Deep sleep was 3 hours and 3 minutes. So much, much longer. Go back to Monday, REM sleep again, 13 minutes, deep sleep, 2 hours, 12 minutes. So as you can see, I'm consistently getting pretty solid deep sleep, but hardly any REM sleep. And that's just pretty typical for me. It's very backwards. Most people, it's the exact opposite, but that is just how mine works out. And honestly, with me getting as little sleep quantity as I am, making sure that I'm prioritizing deep sleep is key. So I'm not really worried about it. So again, it shows kind of the sleep stages throughout the night. So hour by hour, basically, whether you're in awake or in REM sleep or light sleep or deep sleep. I just like that it breaks it down. I do recall waking up last night at about 11 p.m., so that does reflect that accurately. Let's go to activity here. So I want to make a point on this. A lot of people that are in a prep track their caloric expenditure, and they really try and manipulate their caloric intake based off of what their caloric expenditure is showing. I honestly do not put much weight in wearables readings of your estimated caloric expenditure. There's just so many nuances and variables to take into effect there. I do track my caloric intake, obviously, and I get that as dialed in as possible, but I don't lose sleep over trying to track my estimated caloric expenditure. So it's showing about 3,000 calories burned so far today, about 8.8 miles. I do a morning run, so that's what's taking up some of that. And it shows, let's see here. Again, it shows kind of the calories for each of those. It's showing 523 calories for strength training, and 129 for running. Again, you're going to be burning calories throughout the day if you strength train due to the just caloric use of, tearing down tissue and building it back up. So again, it's kind of nice to have these numbers just to kind of see how I'm trending over time, but I don't really base any of my day-to-day activities or day-to-day macro adjustments off of what my estimated caloric expenditure is. But all this to say, this is kind of what the Oura Ring looks like and some of the information that you can get from it as it would relate to a contest prep specifically. All right, so that's pretty much my sleep, my activity, kind of what I'm tracking in that regard, my recovery. Again, my sleep is kind of funny because I'm backwards from most people. Normally, people have a very high REM sleep and a very low deep sleep, whereas I'm the exact opposite. I'm very high deep sleep and very low REM sleep. I think that's probably because I wake up really early, so by the time I do go to bed, I'm ready to go to bed. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to stay up late. I just want to crash. So I'm able to fall asleep very quickly and efficiently and then get into that deep sleep very effectively and stay there for a pretty good bit of time. But since I'm not sleeping very long, my sleep quantity is very little. So the REM sleep comes in at the latter half of your sleep cycle, which would make sense. That's why I have very little REM sleep and more deep sleep. But just kind of want to show you this information. I feel like it's relevant. The more you can track throughout the course of a prep, the better. And since these are all metrics that are going to have an impact on the whole outcome, if you're not sleeping well, that's going to cause you to hold water. It's going to cause, I always wake up several pounds heavier after a night of very poor sleep. So that is something to take into consideration. So yeah, just track these other variables and see kind of what's going on. A lot of people sleep better at different fat to protein ratios, so being mindful of that is key. But yeah, this is just kind of a glimpse of some other factors outside of the nutrition itself. Next week, I'll be doing an update, and I think next week is a posing update. I'm going to try and get an InBody or a DEXA scheduled here soon as well. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.